Hello YouTube, my name is Jack Clark, the Musketeer, coming to you with another video. How are you? So, there's nothing quite like to get you back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Than some brand new nostalgia bait. Oh my gosh, hook, line and sinker I am. Either way, we've got the Duelist pack, Legend Duelist, semantics aside, is a new booster pack that will be coming out in the OCG at some point in the near future. I'm absolutely pumped because it's got Joey freaking Wheeler on the front of it. Yes, and of course it's just all nostalgia bait, but it's got new takes on old archetypes, and I'm uber pumped. So there are 12 cards that have been spoiled initially. I'm going to be talking about the first 4, and then another 4, and then another 4. You'll understand the reason for it in a moment, but today we're going to be talking about the new Red Eyes support that is coming out from this set. Now, of course, Red Eyes is an archetype, has had some conflicting histories. I mean, it's all over the place. They're like, okay, let's give it a load of ritual monsters. Okay, no, let's make them Gemini support. No, actually, no, we'll make them fusion based. And basically, they've gotten so much support that if they had made it synergize with each other, then we would have an amazing deck for a great nostalgia archetype. But they didn't. So they are reinventing the Red Eyes archetype again. But this time, they are, of course, they're doing it with a new focus again. But it's slightly different. I'm a little bit more optimistic with this because I sincerely doubt this is the only Red Eye support in the set, so we'll see how this goes forward. Anyway, Red Eye / Dragon, of course, a badass looking dragon with Gearried the Iron Knight themed armor. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out, guys. Anyway, let's get on to the actual card itself. Level 7 Dark Dragon effect Fusion monster. It has got 2800 attack and 2400 defense, and its fusion materials require 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon plus any warrior type monster. So, it has 3 effects. The first effect is that when a Red Eyes monster declares an attack, you can target 1 warrior type monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card as an equipped card with this effect. The equipped monster gains 200 attack. So its second effect is that during either player's turn, when an effect of a card that targets a card you control is activated, you can send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. The third effect is that if it's destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can special summon from your graveyard as many monsters that were equipped to this card as possible. So there's a lot going on here, but I'm going to break it down effect by effect. So the first effect, to equip a warrior type monster from your graveyard to it. Now, of course, it is a Red Eyes monster, and then you do need a warrior type monster to summon with this card. Of course, it being a fusion monster means that it has obviously really easy to summon with Red Eyes Fusion. That, of course, acts like Shadow Fusion for them, allowing you to send the materials from your deck to the graveyard, essentially meaning that this card is a generic warrior type Foolish Burial effect, which is really valuable. I can't think of many warriors that you would want in the graveyard specifically, but this archetype is bound to have some that synergize with the fusion monster because it with the fusion spell because of just because of the mere nature of its interactions with each other. It giving making it into an equipped card that gives it 200 additional attack is very odd. It just means that it goes from 28 to 3000. Really, it seems kind of inconsequential. But this kind of interaction will become it becomes a bit more. There's a bit more depth to it later on when we see some of the other cards that are being spoilt today. So it seems pretty cool. It's a bit lackluster. It's kind of like, yeah, it's 200 attack point boost upon attack. That's reasonable, I suppose. Second effect, of course, is targeting protection. Now, targeting protection, I've noticed actually with some of these cards, is becoming a little bit more popular. I think Konami's probably realised actually, if you keep on making it so stuff can't be targeted, then of course you need to get rid of, you need to have ways of getting rid of that stuff that doesn't target. But I think they've kind of realised the error in their ways, because if you do that, then power creep gets out of hand so exponentially that, well, you get into a real problem very quickly. So what I think Konami's going to be doing is bringing back targeting removal as the premier version of being able to destroy stuff, which of course would mean that Red Eye / Dragon's targeting protection effect would become a lot more relevant. And of course the cost with you send an equipped card you control to the graveyard for the cost of this means it actually has some synergy with some of the Gemini support that the Red Eyes deck had previously, of course, having some Gemini monsters and Supervisor being a monster that would allow you to summon a normal monster from your graveyard if it was sent to the graveyard. So if you used Supervise for the cost of this, maybe you'll be able to summon the Red Eyes that you used for the fusion summon. The main effect, though, that everyone, I would say I'm pretty interested in how it would work, is that if it's destroyed, you get summon all the monsters that were equipped to it as possible. I'm not sure what kind of interactions there'll be with this, but essentially it's got targeting protection, it can get really big, and if it does die, it floats and it gets you lots more advantage. So this is a card that, alongside Red Eyes Fusion, that allows you to summon it without even needing to minus yourself. Looks great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the future Red Eyes support utilizes this and how it interacts with its own support. So next off though, we got another card. We got Red Eyes Baby Dragon, a level 3 Dark Dragon type effect monster with 1200 attack and 700 defense. I'm dying, guys. This is amazing. 2 effects. First effect is that when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard specifically, you can special summon one level 7 or lower Red Eyes type monster from your deck, and if you do, equip this card as an equip card to that from your graveyard to that monster with this effect. It gains 300 attack. Now, forgive me, I said Red Eyes type monster, Red Eyes monster. Its second effect is that if this card was equipped to a monster and is sent to the graveyard, you can add a level 1 dragon type monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now let's break it down again. Okay, so first effect is pretty good. So it only activates when it's destroyed by battle, which is understandable. I mean, this is a card that you want to be up. It seems as though the Red Eyes deck wants to be more aggressive. So the thing is, though, you can be proactive with this. If your opponent's got a monster with more than 1200 attack, which is most likely going to be able to happen, you can just summon this card, suicide into something, summon a Red Eyes from your deck, and even when you do that, it will gain 300 additional attack points because it will equip itself to that monster, making Red Eyes Black Dragon, for example, 2700 attack, which actually is a little bit more reasonable than the 2400 attack it would have had as standard. Now, the first effect actually synergizes with the second effect, because the first effect equips it to the monster it summons, and of course, if this is sent to the graveyard having been equipped to a monster, you can add a level 1 dragon type monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Of course, first thing that came to my mind was Black Metal Dragon. Of course, another Red Eye support, which was actually fairly, it came with the initial Red Eye support when they made Red Eyes Fusion. And what I love about this card, actually, is it's a card that equips itself from the hand and has a floating effect. So actually, it synergizes with the new equip-centric version of the Red Eyes deck than its previous stuff did. And that's really good, especially considering it allows you to search for another Red Eyes card upon going to the graveyard, which means you get to search for your Red Eyes Fusion, which allows you to summon more copies of Red Eyes / Dragon and its other fusions, for example. In addition to that, it allows you to also search for Black Stone of Legend, which allows you to get your stuff rolling again anyway. A little bit of side note, a little bit of trivia there though. This is great Cyberdark support, level 3, 1200 attack, has an effect and floats when it was sent to the graveyard if it had been equipped. Oh my god, I need that. I need Cyberdark Dragon retrains, guys. Ugh. Either way, Red Eyes Baby Dragon looks pretty nifty, and I'm quite liking the fact that it turns Red Eyes Black Dragon into a floater, which is really quite nice. So you can minimize on the loss of advantage, which comes with it. So next off, we have Red Eyes Metal Knight Gearried. So Gearried the Iron Knight has a retrain. No, he is not a Gemini. I'm kind of a bit upset at the same time, but equally, he's a pretty interesting card. So level 4 Dark Warrior type effect type monster, and he has 1800 attack and 1600 defense. 2 effects. Once per turn, if it's equipped with an equipped card, you can destroy that equipped card, then destroy one spell or trap card your opponent controls. Second effect is that once per turn, you can send one equipped card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard, and then special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. Now, of course, you'll notice that there's a lot of level 7 or lower restrictions on the Red Eyes monsters that you summon with this archetype, just simply because now you can't get your Darkness Metal Dragon from the graveyard. So most of the time, the best target, as much as you have like the other Gemini monsters, which are relatively good, most of the time, the monster you're going to want to be summoning with this effect is going to be just the OG normal monster Red Eyes Black Dragon. This card is kind of all over the place though. It's a level 4 monster, so you kind of wanted this to be the enabler of the archetype, but it's not. We don't have an enabler, so to speak. It, of course, allowing you to get rid of one of the equipped cards equipped to it to destroy a spell or trap card on your opponent controls. This doesn't target the spell or trap card, which is quite nice. That being said, I don't think very well of a non-targeting specific removal in terms of design, because I don't think it's quite fair. I don't quite like that level of design. At least it's only for spells and traps though, because that's at least kind of not as degenerate. That being said though, this synergizes incredibly well with a lot of other cards. So of course, this being a Red Eyes monster can be summoned with Red Eyes Baby Dragon, and then equipped with Red Eyes Baby Dragon, you can get rid of the Baby Dragon, to destroy a spell or trap card, and then you can search for a level 1 dragon-type monster from your deck or graveyard, equip it to the Gearried as well, because it will be your black metal dragon, which of course will allow you to search for another Red Eyes card, which of course can be equipped to Red Eyes Gearried, even if you don't have the Red Eyes baby dragon. So black metal dragon becomes the enabler that it should have been initially. Gearried, of course, just allows you to get the ball rolling in terms of getting a new advantage. The only thing that I can think of that is quite frustrating with this card is the fact that when you use its effect, if you target Black Metal Dragon, you're not going to be able to activate Red Eyes Fusion in the same turn because you can't normal summon monsters during the same turn that you do. So that kind of sucks. It being able to summon a Red Eyes monster from the graveyard as well is pretty nice. It's good for long game stuff, so yeah, I honestly don't want to say. It's okay, I guess. It seems a bit fair. I'm kind of looking for those amazing interactions with them, so we'll see. That being said, we've got our last card of the day. It's going to be Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Yes, we do. We have a Red Eyes card that is Kunai with Chain. I love the narrative theming of this. Of course, they just took off all of Joey's random warrior cards and given them a Red Eyes slant, which makes them a more coherent archetype, which I'm really uber pumped, because it just keeps the spirit of Joey whilst being really good and really cool. So, it is a normal trap card with 2 effects. The first effect is that you can target a Red Eyes monster you control and equip this card to that target, and it can make 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Its second effect is that you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, then target one effect monster on the field. Equip it to the monster that this card was equipped to. While equipped with this effect, that monster's attack and defense becomes the same as the monster equipped to it. So, there's a lot going on here. It's a little bit confusing. So the first effect allows you to make a Red Eyes monster and be able to attack twice, in addition to the fact that it equips onto the Red Eyes monster, so there is other synergies with it being equipped to a Red Eyes monster. The second effect, though, that's where stuff is going a bit weirdly. Of course, being a trap card means that all of these are quick effects, so you can use these reactively. But of course, it targets an effect monster on the field and equips it to the monster that it was equipped to. This can be a monster on either side of the field, guys. This is not just it's not just the stuff you control. So you can take one of your opponent's effects monsters and equip it to this, acting like removal. Your monster that it's now equipped to, most likely a Red Eyes Black Dragon or maybe Gearried, will then have his attack and defense become equal to the monster that you equipped with it. So, for example, your opponent's got an effect monster that is too powerful for you to be able to overcome. Your Gearried or your Red Eyes Black Dragon's not going to be able to defeat it in battle. Essentially, you just equip it with Red Eyes Fang with Chain, get rid of it, you equip that monster to your new monster. Your monster's attack and defense then becomes equal to the monster that it wasn't going to be able to attack and destroy in battle in the first place. So it acts as removal, and it buffs your monster somewhat, in addition to having synergies because it equips to the card specifically. Now, the only synergies it has initially is going to be with the Gearried, because it doesn't interact with Slash Dragon quite in the great way. But these 4 cards really do kind of hint at what they're going to be doing with the Red Eyes support further down the line. Of course, this is an entire booster set which is focused on, which seems to be focusing on cards with relation to Joey Wheeler and his character arc during the anime. So I'm expecting more Red Eyes cards, of course, to give more context and of course to make these cards just better. So I'm really excited, especially considering it actually takes the best parts of the existing support, as much as it is all over the place, and it makes it a little bit kind of more focused in its approach. Of course, Black Metal Dragon does wonders in this deck, and of course Red Eyes Fusion now has a really good fusion monster to summon with, in addition to being able to send a warrior to the graveyard with it, Foolish Burial Styly. So I'm really excited for these cards, guys. Of course, I've gone on for a rather long time, though, but what I want to hear from you guys is in the comments below. Do tell me what you think about this new Red Eye support. Now, of course, I will be talking about the new other cards that have been spoilt for this pack at a later time, which include Amazon S support and then frickin' Yumi support, of all things. So I'll be talking about those in later videos. But of course, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer, and there will be more videos coming out to you soon. But until then, goodbye.